Jimmie Johnson, in only his 13th career start, has become a first-time Winston Cup winner.
Kyle Busch wins at California.
He's going to push him up into the corner faster than he wants to go, I think.
Harvick, Johnson switches lanes. Harvick wins it.
It's the Man of Steel versus the Dark Knight.
The NASCAR Goes West campaign ends in Southern California as the fifth race of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season heads to Fontana for the running of the Auto Club 400. As I welcome you into the NASCAR NDK Preview Show as I fill you in for today's event. I'm your host, Jack Krause, so let's get right into with the news at the track. Obviously, the big one today, not really today, but this week, if you haven't heard, Lowe has announced that they will leave Hendrick Motorsports and Jimmie Johnson Lowe's 48 team following the 2018 season. Now, this is a big shocker because Lowe's is one of the few teams, I think one of 3 sponsors that have been dedicated to a full season. The other is FedEx and Denny Hamlin. And well, actually, I think that's it because I don't think M&M's is committed. I'm not sure, but it's one of the few sponsors these days that commits to being the primary sponsor for a full season. And they've been in NASCAR for 2 decades, and they have been with Jimmie Johnson since the start of his Cup career. They have been there for every single one of Jimmie Johnson's wins and championships. So this is a big shocker, but to be honest, I'm not surprised because, you know, the way NASCAR is heading these days, going down thanks to Brian France. I'll get into that a bit later, but yeah, so Lowe's leaving, so it's not going to be interesting to see what Jimmie's new sponsor will be. But Jimmie did say that just because Lowe's is leaving, that doesn't mean retirement is on his mind. That does not mean that he's thinking about stepping away. So for all you 48 fans, including myself, that's good news. But next we're going to talk about is Kurt Busch, who earlier this week released his Darlington throwback paint scheme, and it pays homage to the 2003 March event or spring event, because this marks the 15th anniversary between him and Ricky Craven that tied for the was the closest finish in NASCAR history, 2 1/1000ths of a second back in the spring of 2003, and the paint scheme replicates that. And I like the paint scheme, I really do, and hopefully we can see a finish like that at Darlington somehow. But yeah, speaking of Darlington, Darlington is looking for a new Lady in Black. Yeah, it's I don't really know how to say it, but basically their tagline is the Lady in Black. They have a lady dressed in a black fire suit that is like a showgirl. So if you want to sign up, they're already accepting applications for the Lady in Black position up until not March 2nd, but April 2nd. So let's take a look at the point standings after Phoenix. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take into consideration Chase Elliott's penalty. This is what the standings will look like. You see Elliott falls from 16th to 23rd, and Bowman takes Elliott's position. Harvick and Dillon so far the only 2 drivers that are locked into the chase, or not chase, but playoffs. Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. tied for second, 68 points above the cut line. Teammates Joe Logano and Ryan Blaney 64 points. Denny Hamlin 49 points above the cut line. Brad Keselowski 46 points above the cut line. Kyle Larson in his home track at Auto Club 43 points above the cut line. Then trio of teammates Stewart Haas Racing, Clint Bowyer, Eric Almirola, and Kurt Busch 37, 35, and 29 points ahead. Then we get into Austin Dillon's teammate Ryan Newman 13 points ahead. And then Menard 9 points ahead. Eric Jones 5 points ahead, and Alex Bowman 3 points ahead of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now let's take a look at the track facts for Auto Club Speedway. It is the oldest surface in NASCAR, built back in 1997, which was when it was renewed, which was the first race. So it's a 2-mile track, 4 turns as usual. The banking 14 degrees in turns 1, turn 2, and 3 and 4. The front straight is 11 degrees. Meanwhile, the back straight is 3 degrees, and the lap record was Denny Hamlin but that was broken on Friday by Kevin Harvick with a time of 38.147. 400 miles make up 200 laps, stage 1, stage 2, 60 laps apiece, with stage 3 being 128 laps. Now, speaking of qualifying, we have to talk about it real quick. Big development that happened. 13 drivers did not pass qualifying or pre-qualifying inspection for this race, and which is a big shocker because NASCAR made this new process or this whole new thing to try and make qualifying go faster for the drivers. But here is NASCAR Vice President of Competition, Senior Vice President Scott Miller, talking about the situation on what drivers were failing on.
Well, the first time through, there was a lot of failures at all of the stations. It was basically kind of split between chassis, weights and measures, and the body scan. Second time through, it seems like most of it has been centered around the actual body scan itself, which honestly is, this is the most aerodynamic track that we've gone to, so kind of no surprise that they would be pushing the limits here more than some of the other places on that.
And this is a track, as we've gone through a number of races, coming back to an intermediate racetrack. You're saying possibly teams trying to push that envelope a little bit to see what they could try to get through with the OSS? Well,
it's just the faster the racetrack, the more important the aerodynamics are. So they're gonna, it's natural that those limits, when it comes to aerodynamics, are going to be pushed here more than any place we've been so far.
Now, usually, what that means is that the drivers would start at the back of the pack and would get to start on sticker tires. Or basically, they get an advantage from not qualifying. Well, NASCAR announced that drivers that did qualify will, I believe, get an extra extra set of tires. I believe. I don't know if I think that is it. I'm not sure, but all I know is that the drivers that did qualify, they get an extra set of sticker tires, which I believe is fair. I don't think if you didn't qualify, I don't believe you should have an advantage over the drivers that did qualify. So, good part on NASCAR, but I'm just shocked that 13 drivers did not make it. Drivers like Hamlin, John, the 400 drivers all start in the back of the pack. Let's get into it now. Let's take a look at the starting grid for today's Auto Club 400. Martin Truex Jr. for the second week in a row wins the pole. On the outside of him is his manufacturer alliance, Kyle Busch. Row 2 has a California kid of Kyle Larson. The defending winner on the outside of him is Eric Jones. Row 3, Daytona 500 champion Austin Dillon and Joey Logano. Row 4 has a pair of teammates, manufacturer teammates, Kurt Busch and Ryan Blaney. Row 5 has Ryan Newman, and going for his 4th race in a row, Kevin Harvick starts 10th. Row 6 has Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher. Row 7 has another pair of Fords of Trevor Bayne and Paul Menard. Row 8 has Jimmy McMurray and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Row 9 has Ty Dillon and Matt DiBenedetto. Row 10 has Darrell Wallace Jr. and Greg Gaulding. Row 11 has David Reagan and teammate Michael McDowell. Row 12 has Jeffrey Earnhardt and Reed Sorensen. Now from row 13 on back, from Hamlin to Witt, these drivers did not pass qualifying inspection, hence they did not make a lap time. So these positions were based off of owner points. Hamlin takes the highest available position in 25th, and Clint Boyer on the outside of him. Row 14 has Eric Almirola and Alex Bowman. Row 15 has the rookie William Byron and Daniel Suarez, who starts in a backup car after he crashed in practice on Friday. Row 16 has Chase Elliott and AJ Allmendinger. Row 17 has 6-time winner Jimmy Johnson and Casey Kane. Row 18 has Timmy Hill and Ross Chastain. And starting on the final row will be Cole Witt. Now let's look at the odds to win at Fontana. Marriage for entertainment purposes only. It's not Kurt Busch. Kevin Harvick, obviously, since he's going for four in a row, he is the best bet so far with a 3-to-1 chance. Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch all with a 4-to-1 chance. Brad Keselowski with a 10-to-1 chance, and his teammate Joe Logano with a 15-to-1 chance. Ryan Blaney as well with a 15-to-1 chance, as well as Chase Elliott. Denny Hamlin with an 18-to-1 chance, and it's Eric Jones and Jimmy Johnson both with a 25-to-1 chance, and Clint Boyer with a 40-to-1 chance, as well as his teammate Kurt Busch. Teammate also Eric Almirola with a 60-to-1 chance of winning, and then Ryan Newman, Jamie McMurray, Paul Menard, and Daniel Suarez with a 100-to-1 chance, as well as Hendrick teammates Alex Bowman and William Byron, as well as Austin Dillon. Now let's take a look at crunching numbers, take a look at the drivers that you should look out for at Fontana. California driver Jimmy Johnson is amazing at Fontana, California. In his 23 races, he has scored 6 wins, including his first career win back in the spring of 2002. He has 13 top 5s, 16 top 10s with an average start of 11.1 and an average finish of 7.13. He has led nearly 1,000 laps, which being 980. If Johnson needs to have a turnaround so far this season, Fontana has to be the track in order for him to maybe, just maybe, turn around his season. Kyle Busch, he has, for some reason, he's been known as the closer at Fontana. In 2 of his 3 wins, he has been third. He was third on the final lap. 19 races, he has scored 3 wins with his first career win back in the summer of 2005. He has scored 8 top 5s, 13 top 10s with an average start of 10.9 and an average finish of 10.79. He has led 611 laps. Now, Kyle Larson is amazing so far these days. In the past 6 2-mile tracks, he has scored 4 career wins, 5 top 5s, and 5 top 10s with an average shot of 10.3 and an astounding 7.6 as an average finish, and has led 250 laps. Now, in his home state of Fontana, California, in the past 4 races, he has scored once, which was last year in 2017, 2 top 5s and 2 top 10s with an average start of 12.3 and an average finish of 17. He has led 110 laps. However, Kyle Larson has a strong race car today, so watch out for him and possibly could get his 5th win here in Southern California. Now let's look at the drivers that you, 2 drivers that you need to look out for today. No surprise here, Kevin Harvick, fastest in first practice and second practice, and was 4th fastest in happy hour. He qualified 10th, but he was fastest in both round 1 and round 2, but I guess he used up his car, which is why he qualified so deep in the field. Well, not deep in the field, but deep for his standards so far. Excuse me. And another driver to look out for is Kyle Larson, the California kid we talked about when we crunched the numbers, trying to go for his 5th out of 7 wins, I believe it was. He was 5th fastest in first practice, 4th fastest in second, 6th fastest in happy hour, and qualified 3rd for this race. Now let's take a look at my fantasy live picks. We did alright at Phoenix. We picked Kevin Harvick, but I went on the safe side. I think I picked the Chevrolet as a winning manufacturer. But here are the drivers that I'm going to start real quick. Chase Elliott, it doesn't matter that he's starting in the back of the pack. I just feel like he's going to have a strong race car today. Kevin Harvick, obviously, he's going for 4 in a row. He has an amazing car, was fastest in 2 of the 3 practice sessions. Watch out for him. Kyle Busch, also another driver to look out for. He runs really well at Fontana. Martin Truex Jr., the pole sitter. He also has a pretty solid race car, in my opinion. All the stats through practice showed he has a good race car. So I'm going to pick up him. Kyle Larson as well. Going to pick him because he is the defending winner, and it is a 2-mile racetrack. And Clint Bowyer I'm going to put into the garage because Bowyer I look as a sleeper. He has had some good runs so far in the past 2 or 3 races. He's creeping up there into the top 5. So that's why I pick him as a garage, just in case one of the starters has issues. Kyle Larson, I think, will win stage 1, but just because he is closer to the front of the pack, and I think he has a much better race car than Truex. But I think as time goes on, Kevin Harvick, I think, will just go back to the front, win stage 2, and I believe he will win the race. Now, the reason why I picked Ford as the winning manufacturer is not just because of Kevin Harvick, just because of his teammates as well. Clint Bowyer, Kurt Busch, they also have good race cars, as well as Eric Almirola, I believe, and also Team Penske. Brad Keselowski and Joe Logano, they have shown strong speed at Fontana. So yeah, that's why I picked Ford as a winning manufacturer. And the reason why I'm picking Kevin Harvick to win, well, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. What does St. Patrick's Day known for? 2 things, or actually 3 things: gold, leprechauns, and clovers. What's a lucky clover have? 4 leaves on it. Kevin Harvick drives the number 4. He's going for 4 in a row. Kevin Harvick will win his 4th race. Now that's not the reason why I'm picking him, but again, he just has a really good race car. Was faster than both round 1 and round 2 qualifying sessions. If he maybe could have saved his tires a bit and just kept this car until the end, I really believe he could have won pole, which is why I picked him on my Fantasy Live. But yeah, I feel like Harvick, and he is, I think he's 9th, I believe, or 9th or 10th he starts. So Kevin Harvick will be my pick, and I believe he will go 4 in a row. And if he doesn't win, then I believe Kyle Larson will win. So yes, that is it for the NASCAR NK Period Show. Don't forget to leave it a like and subscribe for more. Sit back and try to relax. The 2018 Auto Club 400. Until next time, I'm Jay Cross from NASCAR on MDK. and I will see you in the next video.